Alright. Good Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. Today is the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And, you know, we have a good family time, as the Adawanian would say. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start it off with the prayers and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Imagine. Likewise. Come right here. Likewise.
Malakwa, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharal.
Malakwa, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharal.
That's right. Take it to the head. Come right here. All right. You're going to hold it up with your right hand, left hand. So you're going to say La Yashalam. Okay? Yeah.
La Yasharal. La Yasharal.
All right, you're going to take it to the head. Wapanya Hakwadam, Sar. Turn and face the east.
Turn your phones out. Silence.
We're going to start off with the Lord's Prayer, first in Hebrew, then in English. Abanau.
Abanau.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lakwaka.
Lakwaka.
Taba'ah. Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka.
Ayah.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Baratazah.
Kuwa.
Ayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Atalanawa. Call. Yuwam. Wasalaki now. Kabawaki now.
Kasalaki now.
Wala now. Ramasai one. Ball. I was shy now. Mayan. Rod. Kaya. The cup. Amalakwa. Wahala. Hatapara. I will love you. Aman.
In English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us. Our debts. We forgive. Our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. Power and the glory. Forever. So be it.
I catch the power first in Hebrew, then in English. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Baba Kushah. Natalanawa. Akach. Laraka'ah. Kalmakala. Kalmadawa. Akach. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Akach. Lahakwayam. Hamatayam. Akach. Al-Rakwah. Hamata Allah. The Garashan. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Wadaman.
In the English. Lord, in the name of Jesus. Please give us the power. Power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you, so be it.
All right. Psalms 121. First in Hebrew, then in English. Ashaya. Ayanya. All. Ahariya.
Mahayan,
Mahayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Azariah,
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 Ma'an,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Shemaiah,
Shemaiah,
Wa'aratazah,
Wa'aratazah,
Al-Yathan,
Al-Yathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Anah,
Anah,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalaka,
Tazalaka,
Ayad,
Ayad,
Yamyanka,
Yanyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayirah,
Wayirah,
Ba'yallah,
Ba'yallah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makarai,
Makarai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Aknapashka,
Aknapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazataka,
Tazataka,
Wabawaka,
Wabawaka,
Ma'ayatha,
Ma'ayatha,
Wa'ayawalum.
Wa'ayawalum.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes to the hill.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
Which cometh thy help?
Which cometh my help?
My help coming from the Yahweh.
My help coming from Yahweh,
Which made the heavens and earth.
which made the heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee,
will neither, Salaki. He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
he that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
should neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth
From this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Use the big Bible. Go to Psalms.
All right, next we're going to do Psalms 83, first in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka,
all the Mayalaka,
Al Thakarash,
all the Karash,
Al Tashakwat,
all the Shakwat,
All
all
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayab Yaka,
our Yamika,
Yahama Yawan,
Yamaya one,
Wamashana Yaka,
Mashanayaka,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Rahash,
Alamaka,
Alamaka,
Ya'arayam Wa,
Ya'arayam,
Sawad,
Sawa,
Waya,
Waya,
the Ya'atazawa,
the Ya'atazawa,
Al,
Al,
Tazapawan Yaka,
Tazapawanika,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Akawa,
Lakawa,
Wanak Kachidam,
Wanakashidam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala,
Awad,
Awad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazawa,
Nawatazawa,
La,
La,
Yakabwa,
Yakabwa,
Al Yaka,
Al Yaka,
Barya,
Arya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakaratwa,
Ahoya,
Ahoya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashima Yawam,
Wayashimar Yuam,
Mawa'aba,
Ma'awa,
Wahagarium,
Wahagorium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'amawan,
Wa'amawan,
Wa'amalak,
Wa'amala,
Palashat,
Alishat,
Amyashavya,
Amishabi,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Namashawar,
Nalo Wa'a,
Nalawa'a,
Amam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Haywa,
Zarawar,
Zarwa,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadayan,
Kamanayam,
Kasa Yasara'a,
Kasi Yasara'a,
Kayabyan,
Kajamyan,
Badnakal,
Badakal,
Kwashawan,
Kwashawan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Hayawa,
Hayaw,
Damam,
Damam,
La'adam,
La'adam,
Shayak Yamwa,
Shayakiwa,
Nadam Slaki, Nadaya Mawa,
Nadayawa,
Ka'ara,
Ka'ara,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Bak,
Wakazaba,
Wakataza Malanai,
Wakataza Malai,
Call Nasa Kamwa,
Call not to come one.
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Narasha'a,
Narasha'a,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Atha,
Atha,
Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagagawa,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
La Panyaraka,
La Panyaraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
the Ba'arayara,
the Ba'ayara,
Wakala Abba,
Wakala Abba,
the Lahat,
the Lahat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
the Radapama,
the Radapama,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa Wapatka,
Wabasa Wapatka,
the Bahalim,
the Bahalim,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakar, it's like it, Wakarapawa,
Wakarapawa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Al-Yawan,
Al-Yawan,
Al-Kaha-Ratazah,
Al-Kaha-Ratazah.
In the English, Psalms 83. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O God.
O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemy, make a tumult.
Make a tumult.
They that hate thee,
have
lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted. Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said. Come. Let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being the nation.
From being the nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
Be no more remembered.
Shall be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacles of Edom.
Tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur. Also joined with them.
Also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
And the Sisera.
And the Sisera.
And Jabin.
And Jabin.
At the brooks of Kasan.
At the brooks of Kasan.
Which perished and endured.
Which perished and endured.
They became a dung as They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zeel.
And like Zeel.
Yeah, all their princes.
Yeah, all their princes.
As Zabah.
And Zabah.
And as Zamunda.
And as Zamunda.
Who said,
let
us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh.
Let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh. In possession.
Oh my Yahweh.
Oh my Yahweh.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the wood burneth the wood.
As the wood burns the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flames setteth the mountains on fire.
And the flames setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
And trouble forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name is Yahweh.
Whose name is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Sorry. Turn your face to front.
Yeshabia. No, you read 1-7, and he will read 1-7. What will we do?
Verse by verse.
That's right.
First.
So today we're going over why we celebrate and why we do the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. What we got to understand is that this is our Constitution.
Right.
This is our Declaration of Independence. This is our preamble to the Constitution. This is our Gettysburg Address. This is our heritage in this book. And this is what we don't know. The white man took our holy days and dropped the Y for holy and put an I and made a holiday.
Right.
We know about all the white man's holidays, but we don't know none of our feast days. We don't know nothing about our holy days. So now we are showing you, according to the Bible, what we're supposed to be celebrating and doing at these different times of year. All right? Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayah Yahweh, all Mashah, La'amar.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 2. The bar, all Banya, Yasha'alah, what Amara, Alahayim, Mo'ayadaya, Yahweh, Ashar, the Karwa, Atham, Makwarwaya, Kadash, it's like it, Kodash, Allah, Ham, Mawadawai, it's like it, Ma'al
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord.
Speak unto who?
The children of Israel.
First thing you got to understand is this book is speaking to the children of Israel. Entire book. From Genesis to Revelation, through the Apocrypha, and through it all. It's telling the history of our people. So this is the Lord giving us our culture. The Lord is giving us our feast days. So he says, speak unto the children of Israel and tell them what?
And say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord.
The feast of everybody.
The feast of the Lord.
These feasts are for the Lord. These are not our feasts. These are not feasts that the UPK just follows and keeps. These are the feasts of the Lord that he gave to our ancestors for us to keep for generation to generation and pass it down the way you pass down Christmas. The way you pass down Thanksgiving to your kids and the 4th of July and the way you celebrate it. This is what you're really supposed to be passing down. Keep reading.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
And this is supposed to be a holy convocation. Holy means separate. A convocation is a gathering of Israelites. So that's what this is. This is a holy gathering, a separate gathering, meaning everybody's not welcome. The white man can't come to this convocation. Arabs can't come to this convocation because this is family time. This is for us to sit, eat, drink, and enjoy each other as family. Read.
Even these are my feasts.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 3 in the Hebrew. Shashah, Yam, Ba'aisha, Mala'aka, Wabayawam, Hashabaya Iowa, Shabbat Thawam, Makorah, Kodash, Call, Mala'aka, La'ah, the I.S.U.P.K, Shabbat, Hawa'ah, La Yahweh, Bakal, Mawasa Bawatakam, Pa.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
See that? This is what people don't understand. The Lord gave us a time to work and a time to rest. The Lord put the Sabbath day in order so that you can have a day off. People take that and make it Christian and make it spooky and say you can't even press the damn microwave. They say that if you drive your car, you're working. If you take a bath on the Sabbath, you work. That's what they say. They don't understand this. This is the Lord knowing how greedy your bosses are. And your boss will work you 7 days a week if the Lord didn't give a rule to free you up on a day. So the Lord gave everybody a day of rest. That's what the Sabbath is. 6 days you can do work, but everybody should get a day off. You understand? Keep reading.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
It's the Sabbath of rest. That's what that means. It doesn't mean you can't fix a burger. Doesn't mean you can't go fishing to wash your car or cut your yard. It just means this is the day that you can do what you want to do. Your day of rest. Whatever you choose to do. If cutting your yard is what you do for rest, or what you want to do on your Sabbath day, that is what you can do. That is what you do on that day. Go ahead, Tom.
And
no, you good.
And holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
See that? That's what it's talking about. Think about cooking back in the day. When you had to cook back in the day, that was an actual job. You had to kill the chicken, pluck the chicken, gut the chicken. It wasn't going to the store, picking it up out the pack and just throwing some seasoning on it and pressing the button and the stove coming on. You had to make the wood. You had to cut the wood.
Right.
You had to make the fire. Then you had to kill it, cut it, chop it up, clean it, season it, gut it, wash it, do all of that. And then put flour and all the grease and however you're gonna prepare it. That was a job for somebody. So the Lord is like, you have a day of rest. Next verse. Talk about it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 4 in the Hebrew. Allah, Mawa'ai da Yahweh, Yahweh, Makurah Ayah, Kodash, Ashar, Hakurah Awa, Atam, Bama Wa'ayadam Slaki, Bam Wa'ayadama.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
When?
In their seasons.
This is what we're supposed to be doing when it's time for it to happen. Every time this part of the year come around, we should be celebrating the Lord's feast days, right, not the white man's holidays. Right. No matter what land you in, no matter where you at, no matter if you in captivity, no matter what you're doing, you still supposed to keep these feast days.
That's right.
We are in America keeping the Lord's Passover.
Right.
Still to this day. Because we're supposed to do this throughout our generations. The same way if you go move to China on December 25th, you was having Christmas.
Right.
It didn't matter where you was at on the 4th of July. If you was in Africa, you was gonna celebrate the independence of America. Right. Because you associated yourself with being an American. Well, that's the same way you're supposed to associate yourself with this book. You're supposed to do the Lord's feast anywhere you at in this time of the season.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 5 in the Hebrew. B'kadash hara'ashawan ba'arabah ayah Aishar L'chadash Bayan Ha'irabayim Pasach La Yahweh.
In the English, in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
Now, we just celebrated the Lord's Passover last week. You understand? We all went to New York and had a glorious time with our brothers and sisters from all over the planet Earth. You understand? The white man's New Year started in January.
Right.
The Lord's New Year does not start in the dead of winter. It starts in the spring when things are new again, when life has come back into the earth. So after the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you have the Feast of First Fruits. You couldn't have the Feast of First Fruits if it was in January, because you wouldn't have anything to bring forth, because the earth would still be dead.
Right.
Stuff would just be coming up out of the ground. So that's how you know the white man's calendar and the way he has everything going is totally wrong. And we are following under people that have flipped everything around. And we're trying to make this life work under his system. And it ain't made our lives and the way that the Lord wants us to be is not made for his system. His system says you can be homosexual, you can do what you want to do. The Lord said we can't do that. You can't be fruitful and multiply under the Lord's system and be a homosexual in the white man's system. You got to give up a system. So we got to make sure that we doing it the way the Lord wants us to do. And we got to make sure we keep the Lord's Passover. We got to make sure we keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Feast of First Fruit and the Feast of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement, because this is what the Lord looks at to see if you love him.
Right.
He looks at this to see, are you obedient? Because if you were obedient, you'll do what?
Keep his commandments.
You'll keep his commandments. And this is law. This is important for you to do. It's not just something that we do to come together and waste time. We do this because this is what the Lord looks at to see who's obedient and who's not.
Right.
Go ahead, Tasha.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 6 in the Hebrew. Hamasha, Ashar, Yawam, Lahadash, Hazar, Hag, Hamatazawak, La Yahweh, Waba'ayatha, Yum, Matazawak, the I Kalawak.
In English. And on the 15th day of the same month, it is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
That's what we just got through going through. We did the Passover. Who knows what the Passover is about? What's the Passover about? True.
It was about when Yahweh was about to come destroy Egypt. He told his people to spread the lamb's blood over the doorsteps so they pass over their houses.
You see that? It was about us following orders. You understand? We follow orders to get out of a situation that we could have been in. The Lord said, put blood over your door so you could be passed over.
Right.
If you wouldn't have had blood over your door, the death angel would have went in there and killed you too. Because the only way he knew that you were with him is if you listen to what he say do.
Right.
The Lord is looking right now to see who's with him. So he's trying to see who's following his orders. These feast days are his orders to make him know whether or not you're going to be passed over or not. You understand? It's very important. So now we're doing the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We went through this whole week. Without eating unleavened bread. Right? It was a hard day. I was passing up Burger King all week. I was looking at it like, I'm going to go get me a Whopper. I was like, damn, they ain't got no corn tortilla Whoppers. I can't eat that. 7 days. Christians don't know nothing about that. They don't know the struggle of not being able to eat what they want to eat, because Christianity is all about doing whatever you want to do.
Right.
It's about being free to live life however you want to live it. We come into the truth to go through persecution.
Right.
To be holy, to be different from everybody else. And that's what makes being here beautiful. Because everybody can't do this. Everybody can't be in the truth. Everybody can go to church. Because as soon as you leave church, you go and get in the parking lot, you find your cigarette. You get in the car, you find your blunt. You go home, you slap your wife around. You go home and you sleep with 7 different men all through the week. You got a Monday Raw, the Tuesday Raw, all the way to Sunday. And then you come back to church and say, praise the Lord. You can't do that here. This is a hard life to live. And only it takes a special type of person to come here and be in these ranks and be amongst you sisters and you brothers. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 7. By Yawam, Hara'ah Shawan, Makara'ah Quadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Kala, Mala'akatha, Ibadiah, La'ah, the I.S.U.P.K.
In the first day, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
What's servile work?
Work that you're doing to get paid for.
Right. Work, servile, service, slavery, going to work. That's what it's talking about. The whole Sabbath is set up so you can get a day off. That scripture just proved it. Doing servile work, servitude, working for somebody. You shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? On the day that the Lord gives you rest. So when you got to go to work on the Sabbath, you ain't the one in sin. Your boss is the one in sin for making you come to work that day. You look at it like, but I got to go to work. You know, I'm on the schedule. Don't sweat. It ain't your fault. It's his fault for putting you on the schedule. You understand? That's how you got to see it. Go ahead. Next verse.
That Imagine.
Amatazah ben Loya ben Yashal.
Amatazah ben Loya ben Yashal.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathah.
Yashal.
Yeshabia?
All right. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Waha Karbahatham, Ashar, La Yahweh, Washabayatha, Yayamyam, Bayawam, Washabayah, Makura'ah, Quadash, Kala, Mala'akatha, Ibadiah, La'ah, the I.S.U.P.K.
Leviticus 23 and 8 in the English. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
What is your offering that you're giving now? What is our offering that we give now? Since
First fruit, firstborn.
Our time.
Yeah, that
I like
yourself. Christ died for you so that he is your sacrifice. He was what you sacrificed. He was the lamb slave. He was the one that's going up in smoke, the burnt body that he's talking about. So now all you got to do is give up who you used to be. Give up your old life. That's your offering now. Your offering is you. That is what you do. You give up who you used to be, everything that you knew and everything that you loved to come here and change your life. Keep reading.
Come. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 9. Yadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La'amar. Verse 10. Dabar, Al Banya, Yasha'ala, Wa'amara, Alahayim, Kaya, the Ba'awa, Al, Haratazah, Ashar, Anya, Nathan, Lakam, Wakwatazah Ratham, Atha, Quatazarah, Wahabatham, Atha, Amar, Ra'ashayatham, Quatazayah Rakam, All, Hakuhayam.
Leviticus 23:9 and 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
So this is saying, when the Lord gives you something, you give it to him first, because he gave it to you. That's tithes. That's anything, any increase you get, you give him his part first. So the first fruits would be when you plant your first, your corn and your peas and your green beans and all of that. That first vine that comes through of goods, you break all that down and you bring it to the school. You give it to the men of the Lord, to the priest. Then when that next grow, you keep all that. Do whatever you want to do with it. Sell it, eat it, whatever you want to do. But that is how our nation keeps. We don't need nobody else. If a time of famine came and everybody gave their first fruits, we would never have to depend on the white man Section 8.
Right.
We wouldn't have to depend on his food stamps. We wouldn't have to depend on nothing the white man does for us, because we would all have enough provision to feed each other. Right. We would all give so that we'll be able to receive. But if you got 10 brothers putting in and you got 40 people, then it ain't enough to give to everybody else, because everybody ain't putting in. Right. You can't have 10 people putting in a pot and got 40 hands taking it out. So that's why it's so important for you to give your tithes, to give what the Lord gives you to give first, because that is how we as a nation flourish. That's how we keep the nation rolling. You know what I'm saying? You spending more money than you get your check, and you spend more money than you got, then you're gonna always be in a negative. Right. And then you gotta ask for help. You gotta ask for somebody to spot me until I get paid. That's why we spotting, because we taking more away than what we putting in. Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 11. YAHANNA, Atha, Ha'ayamar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Laratazanakam, Bamaharatha, Hashabath, Yanayapanawa.
Salaki, what verse is that?
11.
Okay, dang, I want to go to Ezekiel 12. So
Oh, that's what's up.
let's go to Ezekiel chapter 12. Let's get into this.
Well,
So we know that.
no, hold what you got. Have a brother in the audience pull that. It's like,
Let me see what you got. Yeah, we know that this is about the Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. So let's get into what the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread really is.
Con that one come.
Let's start at verse let's really start at verse 11. Let's get straight to it.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, verse 11. Say, I am your sign, like as I have done.
Well,
So,
since you're gonna read it in English, give me verse 4.
come on. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, verse 4. Then saith thou, bring forth thy stuff by day.
Exodus.
You said Exodus?
Exodus 12 and 4.
You said Ezekiel.
I said Ezekiel.
No, come.
It's a lot. Good night.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the soul.
So now you got the lamb that they about to put over the door. Now it don't make no sense if you got a lamb and it's only you, a single man. It's a man next door. They got 2 people in his house. They killing the lamb. You killing the lamb. This person over here got 1 person in their house. They killing the lamb. You killing lambs. All you gotta do is kill 1 lamb,
Right.
and we can all use the blood of that 1 lamb.
Right.
Understand? That's spiritual as well.
Right.
That's how Christ did. Christ was the lamb for all of Israel.
Good night.
You understand? Keep reading.
Come. According to the number of the soul,
Mm-hmm.
every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb.
Read.
Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish,
Mm-hmm.
a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Keep reading.
Verse 6. And ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
Now this is the preparation for the Passover right here. Keep reading.
Verse 7. And they shall take the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses.
So you got both sides of the door and the top part of the door that every teenage boy slap when he get of age to start jumping up in the house.
Right.
It pops.
Right. Keep reading.
Wherein they shall eat it. Verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread.
That's what we did last week in New York. We ate that lamb in the night.
Damn right.
Roasted with fire. And we had the herbs. We had the onions on the side and all that. I sure got me some and took it to the house because it was so good.
Right.
Keep reading.
And with bitter herbs, they shall eat it.
Right.
Verse 9. Eat not of it raw.
See, they don't eat it like a white boy.
Right.
Don't eat it with the blood running out of it.
Good night.
No, I don't want the lamb medium rare.
Black and blue and medium rare.
Right. No, this is lamb fully cooked.
Lamb still crying.
Right. Yeah, we don't want the crying lamb. Keep reading.
Cry loud.
Nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire.
Roasted with fire. Go ahead.
If I could. That means that on Passover you can't boil the lamb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? It has to be roasted in fire. So it's
Right.
basically barbecue.
That's right. That's what we eating today?
Right.
Barbecue. You understand? That's in the spirit. Keep reading.
His head with his legs, and the puritance thereof. Verse 10, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning.
You hear that?
Eat all of it.
Eat it all. Eat it all up. Make a happy plate.
Right.
Keep reading.
Got on kind. And that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire.
Now we finna find out why we gotta get up, why we gotta eat so fast and get up out of here. Read.
Verse 11, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded.
You need to eat it fully dressed. Don't be in the house eating like you eat at home in your boxers. And you know, halfway, I'm about to go to sleep. Eat with your loins girded. And what else?
Your shoes on your feet.
And your shoes on your feet. Read.
And your staff in your hand.
With your staff. Read.
And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
The Lord's Passover, eat it quickly. That's what you do. Because it is a sign that we trying to hurry up and get out of here. You need to eat it fast because it's not a meal that you sit down and savor and enjoy. Because remember, we leaving Egypt.
Right.
We trying to leave out of bondage. Because the Lord is going to kill all these Africans. The firstborn of these Africans. The Lord's going to do something mighty. So be ready. Be fully dressed. Have your shoes on. Have your staff. Your staff means you're going to go on a long voyage. Have it with you because it's time to leave as soon as you hear these cries. Keep reading.
Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
See that? That's what we waiting on today.
Right.
We waiting on Christ to come back and smite the firstborn, the secondborn, and the thirdborn of the white man.
Damn right.
For all the crimes and the atrocities that he's committed against our people. For the violence against our brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Thou shalt be cut off forever. That's what we're doing. We are remembering these righteous acts like our ancestors did. This is why we remember them. This is why we still do this, because we are trying to get out of here the way we got out of there.
Right.
And the scripture says that no more will it be said that Most High is the one that got you out of the land of Egypt. But they're going to be saying the Most High is the one that got them out of the land of the north.
Right.
Know what that means? Egypt was a big deal. That was the big salvation when the Lord freed us from our enemy. But it's going to come a time where that ain't going to be the biggest deal no more.
Right.
When Christ come back and get us on chariots, see, everybody didn't see how it happened. Christ is going to do it in front of everybody.
Right.
He's going to kill people. Before he killed them, he's going to let you see him come back. Christ on the chariots, angels on the chariots. He's going to let you see it. He's going to let you get afraid. He's going to let you be boo-boo and bricks. Go ahead.
Like it, sir. In awe.
In awe, the water. He's going to let you be in awe, and then he's going to kill you.
Right.
That's the coldest one. That's the coldest one. It's one thing to shoot somebody in the head from the back and they didn't see you coming. And it's another thing to have them sitting there and you loading the gun, you cleaning the gun, you talking to them. You know I'm about to kill you, right?
Right.
No, I've been waiting for this for so long. And now I shoot you in the toe, let you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Shoot you in the knee, let you feel it. Stab you in the hand, let you feel it. That's what he's gonna do to them. He's gonna make this so gruesome and hideous for them, and we're gonna be thankful.
Right.
Christ is waiting on a group of people that is going to be thankful for their enemies' destruction.
Right.
Christians are not thankful for their enemies' destruction. Christians don't want their enemies to die. Christians want their enemies to go with them.
Good night.
Why does the white man have to die? The first thing a Christian say is, can the white man be saved? Why nobody ever asks us, can the Chinese people be saved?
One person.
One person. Nobody really cares about nobody else but the white man. And it is time. Christ want to come back for people. You don't want your kids to get kidnapped and you set up a search team to go find them, and then you get there and you bust through the door with the ARs, and you're like, come on, let's go. And you're like, what you doing? Man, I'm in the middle of Call of Duty. Wait, I ain't ready to go yet.
Right.
Let me finish this game. Nigga, we just came way over here to free you, and you want to stay?
Right.
That's Christians.
Right.
Christians love America. Christians are proud to be Americans. Well, the Most High wants you to be standing with your shoes on, with your girt papped around with your garment papped around the girt, you understand, and ready to go. That's what we are. So we went to Passover ready to go.
Nice.
For rest. You understand? Ready for. We wanted to look like I told Captain Zara, I want to look like Christ's little cousin.
Right.
And he said, you already Christ's little cousin. I'm like, yeah, but I want to look like it.
Right.
You understand? I want to look like royalty for a day.
Right.
That's how we got to be, man. We have to act and look like royalty because we are royalty.
Right.
And we have to hate being here.
Right.
That is the part that's hard. You got to hate being here.
Right.
You don't want to be here. You want to leave here. You want to hate everything about this place.
That's right.
And you want to put all your time into here and not there.
Right.
You understand? Keep going. What verse you at?
The bottom of 12, sir.
All right, go ahead.
And on kind. Both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment.
See that? The Lord's going to execute his judgment. In Revelation, it said that the Lord is coming back to make judgment and to make war with the earth. Do you know what the judgment is? Killing.
Right.
That's the Lord's judgment. The Lord, that's why when people always say, only God can judge me, they don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
The judgment that the Lord is going to come and bring is death sentences. That's judgment. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you just said about Christians say only God can judge me, first of all, Tupac said that, and the scriptures say that the saints shall judge the world. And the saints are the Israelites, not the Christians.
Right.
The Israelites.
The Israelites. That's what you got to understand. You look up the word saint in the Unleavened Bible Dictionary, it says Israelites. That's simple. So, I want you to drop down so we can get to 29.
Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
That is what we waiting on. We waiting on the day of the Lord.
Right.
So we can have a story to tell about how the Lord destroyed this place. Keep reading.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon.
Keep reading.
And all the firstborn of the cattle.
So not only were Africans crying, African cows were crying.
Right.
African ants were crying. Everything from Africa, everything in that land of the Egyptians, they were all in mourning because the God of the Israelites killed the firstborn of everything.
That's right.
It went into detail by letting you know even the cattle.
Right.
Anything that they owned, if you was a dog, you would want to be owned by a nigga or a Mexican in that time.
Right.
Because if you was an African goat, he was out of there. You understand? And that's how you want to be in this family.
Right.
That's how it should. We make it to where we want to be in everybody else's family. We look at the white man and we want to be white so bad. Our women going to bleach their skin.
Nice.
You understand? They thinning out their lips. They getting their hips smaller and all that kind of stuff because they want to be like these other nations. When you should want to be in this family. When you see all of our people live and their people die, they are going to want to be us. When a white man sees the destruction that's coming to his people, he would have wished that he was a black man in that day.
Nice.
You live your life, all your life want to be a white man, want to be rich, a rich white man. Well, it's going to come a day that they're going to look at you and want to be a poor black man.
Right.
because they the ones that the Lord loves. It's a difference living in America and having a white man love you. And it's a totally different thing to live and be someone the Lord loves, the Lord saves.
Right.
He puts his feathers, his wings over you and protect you.
Good night.
You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 30. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt.
That's what we waiting on. We waiting on that great cry that's gonna come through America. Keep reading.
For there was not a house where there was not one dead.
That's how it's gonna be. There's not gonna be a house to where there's not one dead. Not one house. Every house is going to be touched by the angels of the Lord. Every white man's house is going to have mourning and the weeping and the gnashing of teeth. They're going to see what hell feels like. They're going to see what we've been experiencing forever.
Good night.
They've never actually experienced, just like a white lady's son died not too long ago, like last week, and she said no parent should have to bury her child. Welcome to our life.
Right.
Welcome to our reality that we've been living.
Right.
Because your people have been killing us. They are going to experience what it feels like to be a nigga.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 31. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, rise up and get you from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as ye have said.
Keep reading.
Verse 32. Also take your flocks and your herds, as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also.
All of this started because Moses said we wanted 3 days to go serve and worship the Most High. That's all they wanted. They weren't trying to leave Egypt. They weren't trying to cause a big rebellion. They was like, hey, Salakia, hey, Pharaoh, yeah, we just want to go into the wilderness, serve the Most High for 3 days, and then we going to be back on schedule. He was like, y'all must ain't got enough to do.
Right.
Y'all must need more work if you got time to think about serving your God.
Good night.
That is how the white man feels about you.
That's right.
White man don't want you to have time to do nothing but work for him and build his kingdom and think about how you're going to make him great again, how you're going to make America great, how you're going to make him rich. If you got time to come to class and learn precepts and the laws, you must don't have enough hardship in your life.
Right.
You must need to lose your job and your house and your cars because you got too much time to worry about the Lord. That's how the white man see you. Keep reading.
Verse 33. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste.
You see that? But the Egyptians was like, man, get these niggas out of here.
Right.
You see, Ubuntu is laying in my hands, dead, because of them. Get them out of here. Give them here. Take my gold. Take my silver. Take my jewels. Take it and get out of here. And ever since we left that land, Egypt has been a shithole.
Right.
There has not been anything else that has sprung up out of that land since we left. And that is how every land is when we leave it.
Right.
All the dynasties fall when we leave out of it because we are the salt of the earth.
That's right.
We give the earth flavor, swag. We the one that made America great.
Right.
Every invention that was made here was made by some nigga or Hispanic. And the white man patented it and took all the credit for it. Like he do everything in the earth. Go ahead, Ari.
Oh yeah, I just want to expound a little bit on that on that firstborn situation for people to actually understand like how impactful that was. The firstborn is the one who gets inheritance. He is the next king. This is the one you prime for rulership.
Right.
This is the one you teach all the secret things to, all the information, all the family history, because this is the man that's going to replace you. And the Lord came through and smote all of them.
Right.
So now they got to start all over.
Start all over. Keep reading.
For they said, we be all dead men.
If we don't kick these people out of our land, he gonna come back for seconds. If we don't kick these people out, he killed the firstborn, he gonna come back and get the secondborn. And the third. And my mom only got 2 kids. So I'm next. That's what they was thinking. We got to get them out of here because if we don't kick them out, we gonna all be dead men.
Right.
Read the next verse.
Verse 34. And the people took their dough.
Now this is why we have been doing the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. Because while we partying and eating and turning up and dressed all good and having fun, we start hearing a cry in the city. Imagine we was at Passover the other day, just having fun. And you just start hearing, just through the walls of the banquet hall. Because that's how it's going to sound. When the ground was shaking because the brothers was marching in. Now imagine a death angel flying over the city, killing everything. The ground's going to shake and you're going to feel something happening. You're going to walk out the door and hear those screams and those cries. You're going to be ready to get out because you're going to know why it's happening. You're going to know it's the Lord. You're going to be like, well, it's about to be war now. They finna come for us. But instead, they was afraid and they wanted us out the land. So what happened with the dough? Keep reading.
And the people took their dough before it was leavened. Their kneading through being bound up and their clothes upon their shoulders.
A kneading trough is the thing that you make the dough on and you mix it all together and then it rises. They had to get that stuff and go. So they made the dough, but it didn't have time to rise. That's why we do it now. We got to remember what it was like going into the wilderness, eating corn tortillas.
Right.
You understand? It's been a hard 7 days eating that over and over. You understand? Not being able to eat bread. You know what I'm saying? Just to eat that, it's been tough. Now imagine doing that and walking through the wilderness, through the desert. You understand? That's why we got to remember. We got to remember what our people went through. Go ahead.
I want to say, well, I got a question. Could the unleavened dough be symbolic for separation?
The unleavened, matter of fact, I'm gonna get into what leaven is. We gonna get into that since you brought it up. The water. Read the next verse, then we're gonna move on. Give me
Verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses.
Read that again.
Verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment.
Read.
Verse 36. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required.
You hear that? You know what happened? They was like, here, take it.
Right.
Take this. Get all this. Just take whatever you want. Get out. Leave. Everything you working hard for, everything that you slaving for, the Lord is going to give it to you freely. They're going to just give it to you. The Lord say that they heap gold as dust. But give me Job 30. Talks about
30.
Is it Job 30? I think it's Job 30 and 16. I think that's it. This is gonna happen again. Everybody got it?
One more part.
Go ahead, read it.
And they spoiled.
Go ahead.
And they spoiled the Egyptians.
That's it. And they did what?
And they spoiled the Egyptians.
And they destroyed them. You understand? That's what's gonna happen again when Christ returns. What is it? 22 and 12? 24? Start at 12.
Is the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 12. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high they are.
I'm looking for the scripture that said Even though you heap it gold as dust.
That's 24.
Okay, read it.
Okay. It's the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 24. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold as Ophir as stones of the brooks. Verse 25. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver.
That's what's going to happen to us. The Lord is going to take the stuff from the wicked and give it to the righteous.
Right.
You working hard every day and night to make ends meet because you think that's the way to make life better for you. When the scripture says to do what first? What does the scripture say to do? First.
Seek the kingdom.
Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. And then all these things will be added unto you.
Right.
When you seek the Most High first, everything else fall right in place.
Right.
You understand?
I got a precept, sir.
Go ahead. I'm looking for it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is in the destroyed for want of judgment. So basically, everything that the wicked do upon this earth to shine, you know what I'm saying, to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm rolling in the Maserati. Back then, they was rolling in chariots on foes. Right. You know what I'm saying? With gold elbows. You know what I'm saying? Right. So all of this stuff or whatever, like the Lord brought so much vexation upon the land, they was just trying to give the children of Israel everything just to leave. You understand? So that's how it's going to be in the day of the Lord when the Lord delivers us out of this kingdom. You understand? Like the Lord is going to vex Babylon so much. They said you're going to be able to see the smoke from Babylon from miles off. Are you going to be over there in Europe? You're going to be able to see the smoke from Babylon. You understand?
Isn't that like basically what Revelation was talking about? Like there's going to be a dark that covers the earth? That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. You understand? Right. So I know everybody going through the furnace of affliction. I know this life and the truth is not easy. You understand? Everybody out here slaving. You might be working 2, maybe 3, 4 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Just to make ends meet. You understand? You feel like you at wit's end, but just hold on. You know what I'm saying? It's all like the Lord said that He will prove thee. You know what I'm saying? He said that He will try thee not like silver, but in the furnace of affliction. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you were chosen. A man or woman's integrity is not chosen when things are good, but when things are bad. That's what determines the type of man you are, what type of woman you are. You understand? So if you stand upright at these points when you in hell, how much more when it's time to shine, the Lord gonna be like, take this crown, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Get your family, go ahead and go. I got this mansion stored up for you right here. You understand? This is made just for you. You understand? You ever seen a whole house made of jade and trimmed in gold? Right. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, right.
You understand? Like the Aztec, boy. You know what I'm saying? I want jade and gold, everything in jade trimmed in gold. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't even know what jade is.
You know what I'm saying? It's a green crystal.
I'm thinking about my cousin. Give me Job. Give me Job 27 and 13. Job 27 and 13. This is what I was looking for right here.
Job 27 and 13. Sorry. It's the book of Job, chapter 27, verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with God.
This is what you're looking for right here. This is what's going to happen. This is the inheritance that the white man has built up with the Most High. Read.
And the heritage of oppressors.
The heritage of who?
Of oppressors.
This is what, the Lord rewards you for your work. So this is the work that the white man put in. This is what the reward is.
Read. Which they shall receive of the Almighty.
From the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword.
The only reason you see a lot of white kids is so the Lord can kill them.
Most High Christ.
That's in the Bible.
Right here.
That's something to smile about right there.
Damn.
The sword, all the white kids and all the Africans and Arabs, they are here and we see them just so the Lord can kill them.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come. Most High Christ. And if the children be multiplied, it is for the sword. And his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread.
And their kids ain't gonna be satisfied with the money they got. White people are rich and they are killing themselves.
Good night.
They commit more suicide than poor black people.
Right.
Go ahead, now.
Good precept for them be Isaiah 14, chapter 14, verse 21.
That's
All
also,
chapter 14.
that's always a good precept
Right.
for anything. We can talk about the dietary law and pull that.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep.
You see that? Keep reading.
Verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust.
Even though he's rich and he got more money than you could collect this dust. Read.
And prepare raiment as the clay.
And he got all the clothes, the cars, the jewels, the money. Read.
Verse 17. He may prepare it.
He may what?
He may prepare it.
He may gather it together, but what?
But the just shall put it on.
Well, we gonna put it on. The white man is getting all the money and the riches just so we can take it from him and know where it's all at.
Right.
We ain't got to go nowhere else. We gonna stop at Bill Gates' house and get everything we need because he done gathered it all up for us. You understand? That is justice. That's something beautiful, and that's what they got in Egypt, and that's what we're gonna get times 30, times 100 when Christ returns. Yeah.
And the innocent shall divide the silver.
And who?
The innocent shall divide the silver.
We the ones that's been dying. We the ones that's been being killed. We the ones that has been being destroyed. Well, we're going to divide the silver, the gold, the raiment, the land, everything.
Right.
Everything he stole, we're going to inherit it. We're going to get it rightfully. You understand? So that's what this is about. This is about not being comfortable here, being ready to get out of here, going through the pain and the suffering and the persecution of not being able to do what you want to do. All week, you fought through not eating bread and certain chips and crackers and everything that makes life better. That is why they say get it out your house. Because y'all niggas. Y'all ain't finna have this bread in the house and just overlooking it. You know, man, look, well, I'm gonna just eat the end bread because it looked like leaven. It looked like
It's super flat.
It's flat like leaven. You understand? The priest would come in and be like, nigga, I know you've been eating this bread because I know you ain't purposefully not eating it.
Right.
You understand? That's why it's important that you keep the laws and do it the right way. You understand? We got to start as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans coming together because it's crazy how the white man, even though this is the divided states of America, they can at least agree on holidays. Right. Even though they got the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and all of that, December 25th is Christmas to all of them. Even though they don't agree on everything, then you get us. Our Passover was last week. Oh shit, our Passover in 3 more weeks. Everybody gotta be different. When the Lord tells you to be different from them, you don't want to be different from them. You want to be different from your brothers. That's what we got to get out of. We got to be different from them and the same as each other, not different from each other and the same as them. Go ahead.
I thought it was only one lunar cycle though.
Not in the black man's mind. Right. You understand? The black man is gonna make sure he is the champion of all. Right. I'm the leader. You're the follower. Right. Listen to me. That's the spirit that we got to get out of. You understand? We have to be one body, one spirit, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. We have to be one. Everybody wants to be the body of the car. Nobody wants to be the transmission. Nobody wants to be the tires.
Fuel injector.
Nobody wants to be the gas pump. Everybody wants to be what you see on the car. They don't want to be the things that make the car move. We're all the car. You may be the rear view mirror. You may be the steering wheel. But without it, it wouldn't be a full car. That's how you got to look at it. Don't look at yourself. Somebody got to be the fingernails in the body. Somebody got to be the eyelids. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be somebody got to be the toes, the nose, the eyes. You know what I'm saying? But we all make up one body. You understand? And that's what we learn here. We learn how to be one with one mind and one way of thinking. You understand? And leaven is also knowledge.
Right.
Give me the scripture I gave you.
Oh, come on. 1 Corinthians 5:6. Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
See, in our mind, we are about glorifying ourselves. But the Bible's like, your glory is not good. Right. Because a little leaven the whole lump. A little bit of puffing yourself up makes the whole bread messed up. If you had a little leaven in your bread, then you couldn't eat it. That's how it is about yourself. You can't look at yourself and puff yourself up. Let your brothers glorify you. Let people glorify you. Don't glorify yourself. The knowledge that you got from coming into the truth and changing your life is not for you to boast yourself. It's for you to teach your brothers and your sisters. Bring them out of hell. Because it's our responsibility to teach our brothers and sisters. What's that scripture we pulled outside? Ezekiel 3 about if you don't tell them it's your fault. Ezekiel.
It was, I got that one.
You know what I'm talking about? You're right.
It was Ezekiel 3:17.
Read that. This is why it's important not to puff yourself up, not to big yourself up. What you need to be trying to do is teach your brothers and sisters the truth. Get them in the truth. When they talk about how fun Easter was, when they talk about how they had the Christmas party and all of that, you need to tell them how fun the Passover was, right. How much fun the Feast of Dedication was. You know what I'm saying? You need to be trying to sell the truth to them while they trying to sell you the world. You think like, man, I missed the Christmas party, man. Man, I know they had fun, man. Had them eggnogs in there and everything. You need to be telling them, man, you missed Passover. Passover was glorious. Boy, I know you wish you should have been there for that Passover. You gotta sell it to them. Because you know what the Christmas party is like. You've been there and done that. They ain't never been to a Passover. Right. Ever. Read what you got.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at thine hand.
On whose hand?
At thine hand.
This is what you need to learn. Everybody got friends in the world, and we all say about those friends, man, I would tell them about the truth, but man, that nigga don't want to hear this. Man, I ain't finna waste my time with them. They don't want to hear this. They Christians. They lost. Well, guess what? It's your job to tell them about the truth, whether they hear it or not. Because if you don't tell them and they die, their blood is on your hands because they were your responsibility. Now, keep reading.
Verse 19. Yet, if thou warn the wicked and he turn from his wickedness, and he not turn from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
But if you tell them, And they be like, man, I feel you. You can believe what you want to believe, and I'm going to believe what I want to believe, and I'm good. Right. No sweat. Now, your blood off my hands. Right. I've done my part. But you're not doing your part if you're afraid to step up and tell them what's right and wrong. If you're looking at them like, man, I ain't got time to be arguing with him. I ain't got time. Let your brothers and sisters know, because we could have looked at y'all and said, man, we ain't got time to be talking to him. He ain't trying to hear it. Right. He a Christian. Look at that edge up. I know he ain't trying to come up in here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Go ahead.
It brings back to like the point with Captain Tazariak said, you know, when you go around like your family member, he said he don't even, when he go around his family, he don't even bring it up no more.
Right.
Because it comes to a point where, you know, that's the first, when you first come into the truth, that's the first thing you're going to do, because it's some good news. You feel great. You like, man, I learned this. I've been in the Christian church all my life, and I learned more now in a week than I ever learned in my life. So the first thing you're going to do is try to wake up your family, wake up friends, and they be on some super Christian stuff. So it's like, after you warn them, that's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for some people, I still, you know, mention some stuff here and there, like, because you really love your family. Right. You know, you really, so, but after a while, you know, get to the point where you just go over there, I just came to see you, how you doing, woo-woo, and just move around.
That's what it got to be, man. We ain't here to force it. We just here to drop seeds. We're going to let the Lord do the rest. Right. We just going to drop seeds on it. Go back to what we was at in 1 Corinthians, and we're going to close with that.
1 Corinthians 5:7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
You see that? Purge out that old knowledge you had. Purge out that Christianity, right, that Egyptology, that Islam. Right. Purge out the old leaven so that you can be a new lump. If there was an inch of leaven in the bread, that would be bread you couldn't eat this week, because it would be leavened bread. Right. You understand? Purge it out. Get that old doctrine out your mind. The scriptures say that you can't pour old wine in the new glasses. Right. You can't try to come in the truth and hold on to who you used to be. Right. You got to give it up. Right. You got to give it all up. That's right. And that's a hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. And nobody said, like the Christians say, nobody said that the road would be easy. But I don't believe he brought me this far to leave. You understand? And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? That's real. This ain't supposed to be easy, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And that's why we're here. That's why we keep these feast days. And that's why we strive every day to show the Most High that we love him by our actions. Not our words, by what we do, not what we say. Right. And if you in here today, you showing the Lord something. You showing him that you love him. And you showing Satan something too. Satan is an excellent officer. Excellent. Right. He's so good, he's never been replaced. Right. You hear that? He ain't never been replaced. You got some people that came in here that were excellent officers, and then they fell off. And now we have new officers in their place, right, that did what they were doing. Well, there has always been Satan. Right. Nobody has ever replaced him, because he's excellent at his office. That's right. Now be ready to fight him. Fighting him ain't guns and missiles. Fighting him is putting down the weed, turning your back on your family because they turning their back on you, and you ain't doing nothing but following the Lord. That's right. It's mental. It's spiritual. And that's a hard thing to do. So with that, we're going to close the class out. We're going to say the prayers. So with that, Amaja.
Yeah. 1 second, sir. Vadium, Wapanya Hakodam, Sar. All right. He's going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, then in English. All right.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadah, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazar, Kawab, I.S.U.P.K, Bashemayim, Natalanawa, Call, Yawab, Basalaki now, Kabawati now, Basalaki now, Kabawati now, Kabai now, Badasai Above, I was shy now, Bayad, Rod, Because, I'm a Lakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, I will love you, I'm up. In the English, this prayer didn't mean nothing to us when we was Christians, but in the truth, it should mean a whole lot more to you. Yeah, right. And the thing that should mean the most to you in here is forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Right. You know what that means? That means the Lord is going to only forgive you according to how you forgive the people that have wronged you. Right. You want forgiveness from the Lord? Well, forgive people that have messed over you. That's right. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. Power and the glory. Forever. So be it. And one more thing. It said, give us this day our daily bread. It didn't say give us this year. It didn't say give us for the rest of our life. It said give us this day our daily bread. We so focused on getting money for life. We trying to hit that one lick that's going to have us set forever. When the Lord say, just give us today our daily bread. Right. And then tomorrow, give me this day our daily bread. Right. And the day after that, give us this day. That's how we supposed to think. We're supposed to be content. Go ahead. Sar, turn and face in front. All right, we're gonna salute this. We're gonna salute the Torah. Brothers in ranking order first, and then the sisters. You're gonna come down first. All right, you're gonna say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. All right. Ranking order, move swiftly. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
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 Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Let's go. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Take your time. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Damn right. All right, sisters. Go on. Come on, Malaki. Where you at? Come on, little man. Hey, little man, come on. Put your hand on it. Put your hand on it. Right hand on it. Right hand on the scroll. Yeah. Left hand on your chest. Yahweh. There you go. Come on. Yes, sir. What's that crying? Come on, sister. Come on.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabarakia. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh
All right. Hold on, give him time. All right. With that, we're gonna give a courteous salute to the brothers, then to the sisters.
Men of Israel, mighty Shabbat, Bungie, Raw, Yazmatah, Sword, turn to face sisters, men of Israel, mighty Shabbat, Bungie, Raw, Yazmatah, dismiss.